we've made both parts or components for the primer tasks, the cube and the strut. Now we need to assemble them. To do this, obviously we need to use an assembly file. To start an assembly file, you would go to the new icon in the fast ribbon. You click on assembly, use a sensible name, not forgetting to use an underline or a dash rather than a space, because the spaces won't be accepted, and then just click OK. I've already done this, as you can see at the top of the screen, primer underscore tasks underscore assembly. That's what I've decided to call my assembly. So cancel that. To add the components, I make sure that the model tab is selected. I go to assemble in the ribbon. This allows me to pick my components, or the parts I've already created. I'm going to start with the cube, double click on that. I just left click to position it really anywhere in the graphics area. I go up to the dashboard here, the controlling part, click the down arrow next to automatic, and I want the default position. That automatically positions it on the basic coordinate system. That's fine. As you can see, it's fully constrained in the dashboard. Click the green accept or apply tick. We're there. Just roll the mouse wheel away to make it a bit smaller, and I'll move on to the next part. What I think I'll do, this will soon get very cluttered with the datum plane, so I'll go up to the graphics ribbon here, click on that, and just select all. Will initially select everything, just click it again, and then I'll have no datum plane showing. Okay, next component is going to be a strut. Just position that. We then find we have the assembly copilot, this beastie here. You can use that, just get hold of the arrows. You can move it in the direction of the arrow. You can actually roll it in the direction of the wheels there, so you can position it. Some people find this easier to do, so they line the thing up before they actually assemble it. Depends what sort of assembly you're doing. It isn't really necessary, but if it helps, if you find it easier, well, just use it. Certainly in Pro Desktop it used to be an absolute pain sometimes to position things, and this will make life much simpler. Okay, so I now can just select how I'm going to join it together. So I just click on the part sticking out of the end of the strut. I would call that a spigot, and that spigot is going to go into a hole in the cube, so I click on that. If you want to, if necessary, if you want to move the strut up and down, you could use the assembly copilot. You could just hold down Control and alternate, and again with the left hand mouse key you can move the item down. That's something that really existed in previous versions of the software. So if you have a problem with the Copilot, you could use this method as well. We'll only move along that line because obviously you've already centered up the spigot with the hole. Next thing I want to do is just going to roll in a little bit. I want to select to click on next here. I moved the mouse, so I lost it. Just right click again. Normally right click will do it. You see now it's picking up the end of the strut around the base of the spigot. Just left click that, and I want that to be on or coincident with the top face of the cube. That's fine. It's turned the brown colour and fully constrained. Just fit it to the screen and then bring in another cube. I'll just do this, and I'll pause the video to save you watching me do many repetitive things. Okay, so I'm going to start off. I'm going to put the hole in the cube on the spigot, and I'm going to just roll in a little bit, just right click. I want that bottom face of the cube and that end of the strut. Goes brown, fully constrained, everything's fine. Okay, I'll pause the video now whilst I put some more parts together, and we'll come back in a little while. As you can see, I've just brought in a cube. I've lined up the hole with the spigot, and I've lined up the end of the If I roll this around, I might show a bit more clearly. The end of the strut with the end of this, and it's come in the wrong way round. Normally could be quite a frustrating thing to happen. Just go to placement. It's got that constraint is selected. There's a flip option on the right hand side. Just click on that and it will position it correctly. It's that easy to make that change. Just going to bring in another cube. Notice the cube comes in on the cursor, which makes it very, very easy to place. Just click it so you can see what you're doing. And I know that the hole has got to line up with the spigot, and the end of the strut, and the face of the cube with the face on the end of the strut. Goes brown. That is complete. Just got 2 more struts to add. Want to be inside of the hole. You notice how again it's only doing it's a flat face to flat face, so now it knows that it's got to be one of those. So I can right click, and with a bit of luck I can get that back face of the cube. You do have to have the cursor over it, and just left click to create that, and accept that it's gone the fully constrained colour. And then bring in the last strut, just double clicking each time to bring them in. So click on the hole, click on the face, and it's done. It is that simple. Auto scale it. That is our 2 Primer task components fully assembled.